Hello, everybody. Nice. So, a quick disclaimer, I have no idea what I'm talking about. About 10 months ago, I was working in recruitment in central London, trying to cold call some of you actually to sell your recruitment services. So take a little bit of this with a pinch of salt, as this is not data-driven. This is just a hunch that we had when we started doing this. So I'm part of a team that helps deliver our events called Friday Night Lights. This is what we kind of do. The clue's in the name. It's on a Friday night, and we carry these lights. We're trying to throw like running events and running festivals in the city to keep people engaged and try to add like a new aspect to their social lives. A little bit about who we are and what we do. We're commonly known as the worst running event in the country. We're quite comfortable with that. We don't run, we don't race, we're not very competitive, we have no start lines, no finish lines, no chip timing, no medals, no t-shirts. We don't do anything, basically. We are bread and butter, openly known and quite commonly bought into by being the worst event around. We started last year. Since then, we've had 22,000 customers come through our booking system, and we were built from my other brand called Run Social, where we host about 750 free 5Ks every single week, no, across a year, sorry, in the UK as we go. What do we do? How do you have a successful worst running event? Well, we kind of take people out for a night out. We were fed up of having to spend all of our cash, all of our money, all of our brain cells in pubs and nightclubs and cigarette packets and whatnot. So we thought, well, let's try and take that out. There was a collective groan earlier when Dom showed a picture of a grotty rave in a nightclub. That's what we sell. So I sort of sat there like, oh shit, gotta go up and do this. So that's basically what we do. Over the last year, we've kind of worked our way through licensing. We don't really know what we're doing. We make it up as we go along, and we work really closely with the councils to try and get more permissions and improve our licensing to the point now where we can host around 1,000 people a week in Battersea Park. We also do it in Southwark and also Manchester, Brighton next year, and the Olympic Park as well. We host the events weekly, and we've coined the phrase the UK's healthiest night out, just because it sounds quite cool. So that's us. What we do is really stupid. It's really, really fun. And one of our key things we really focus on is escapism. So we try to give people a space they can go to on Friday nights and not have to worry about the general stresses and pressures of being a young adult. Our core audience are 18 to 34-year-olds. We're about 70% made up of that age group, and we're about 65% female runners. And a part of that escapism, we ask people not to post us on social media. We ask them, I know there's someone from Strava here, sorry about that. We ask them not to post it on Strava. Don't do it for kudos, don't do it for likes, don't do it for any other reason apart from yourself. So please keep your phones in your pocket, go out, have your run, have your night out, and if you've had a good time, come back and invite someone. And we're really quite staunch about that. We actually have, I think, 2 videos, thanks Dom, of what we do, just to show everybody kind of what we do. The worst running event in the country. And we really try to do everything authentically. We don't have any money. And and we don't have any industry skill or experience. So that leads us to try to create solutions to problems that for us are original, and it makes us seem innovative when really we're just really struggling. For example, our event management plan is done on a Key Stage 2 free geometry tool that we crop the thing and then send it off to the council to use because one plan crashed my computer. And all of our marketing is captured on phones. We try to use iPhones that are like iPhone 10 or 11 or 12, so it's deliberately grainy. We try to make it very realistic by leaving spelling mistakes into the copy. We try to make it deliberately hard for people to read so we can game the algorithm so more people engage with our content, and we go again. The worst running event in the country. And on the right, again, hopefully this will play now. That is basically what we do. So we do that every single Friday. We have these big speaker system that we carry around. We've got about 25 of them now, and they're really, really quite loud. And we get about 1,000 people, and we all collectively run at the same speed. We don't baby people. We won't talk to them or look after them dramatically. It's just like a mate in a pub or somebody from around the corner. If somebody runs ahead of our front runners, we'll say, get back, you dickhead, you're ruining it for everybody. We do call people out. We're very upfront, we're very honest, and we treat them like adults. We try not to baby people. We try not to bend over backwards for everyone. You're an adult, you've got pretty far in life. You can work out how to get to our event. So we often just direct people to our FAQs and whatnot. But this is just the way that we act and we go, and it's kind of caught on. We started last year, and again, the problems that we really tackled coming from a community was basically we were skint. I was pretty lonely, miserable, and just fed up of being hungover. And turns out, this is quite a resonating feeling with a lot of people in cities. So when we started to look around about what we can do and what else is there available, there was basically nothing. So we basically pulled up our socks and went, oh, bollocks, we'll make our own thing up. Most things out there are fun, are really expensive, and are also bad for you. So we thought, right, well, how can we counter that? And how can we take what I love, which is like a festival and a grotty rave, and turn it into something that's affordable, that's fun, and where I can go and connect with people? And that was really where we started from, and that's how it began. We originally managed to make a deal with somebody that owned some speakers to let us carry them. We charged £3 for a ticket last July in Battersea, and 100 people turned up, and we ran, and we were like, fuck, this is cool, let's do it again. And slowly but surely, we then got, £4 tickets, 6, 7, 8, and then we started to move up, bought more speakers. We invested basically all of my savings, all of my complete time, jacked in my career, bought some cool lights, some cool lasers, and we have what is literally now a mobile running club. And that's exactly what we tried to do when we were there. So we just tried to feed those top two problems like that. And the last piece was, everywhere we went running, everything was so serious. Everything had a real mission or a goal, was meant to be inspirational, or was trying to inspire this or do that. And I was just, can we just go to just somewhere to kick back? Somewhere that just can go and relax. And where can we go and what can we do where I'm not being coerced into we've coined the phrase toxic positivity. But where can we go somewhere where we don't have to put up with that? We just go have a chat, just hang out with my mates and just go and be a regular layman, average Joe person. And we thought, we'll just do that. We don't race. One of the questions Dom asked was, why don't we host races? It's because we couldn't afford anything. So we had to do it this way. But it was all about PBs and pace. And there was always some alternative motive behind other community events that we went to. We always felt there was a real transaction between my other community and whoever we were working with. It was always something for something. So we thought, well, let's just bin it off and we'll do our own thing. So we really, really took that, and we really thought we were going to really run with this and try and give this a go. Lo and behold, we obviously, this wasn't based off any data, and how did we know that the community leaders who spoke here earlier were going to talk about the cost of living crisis, the real drive of Gen Z people not to want to drink, and people getting quite lonely, depressed and anxious? Lo and behold, I know that's just how I speak, but those are the same problems that the community and people were facing anyway. So lo and behold, we've managed to encapsulate into that and really capture that, almost a year and a half before we've heard it here today as the industry leaders. And the main reason for that is because we are the community that's trying to build up. We're not a big brand or like a race or a shoe brand or anything trying to build down to make a community. We are the nuts and bolts community runners. We are the people that pay to go to your events. I'm pretty sure I've contributed to most of your houses and mortgages on a monthly basis. Bastards. And we're the people that are trying to make the move up. And that's what we do. And I think we're a really good example if you are to empower a community with some money, even if it's a couple £100, what you can do with £0 and on the side of a full-time job, versus if you do give a community some finances and some trust to make some decisions, what you can really do, because they do understand culture, they do understand what's going on. Our event is, built from the floor, and it is really got a long way to go. But you can really tap into the counterculture feeling and get a good understanding, garner new people, garner new audiences, and ultimately, hopefully, sell more tickets to fund your mansions. So how do we solve this? Fairly simply, I say, done by community. I think anybody here who's received one of our sales decks or pitch decks will see this right on the front. Designed by us, built by us, and funded by us. It's all done by us, from the team. We haven't done anything remarkable or like groundbreaking. We just sat down, asked people, what would you do if you were me? And then we just went and did that, basically. But just by listening to people and ask what they want, and then, ask, what would you pay for it? Is that okay? How do we do this? Right, well, we got chased around Regent's Park by 2 golf buggies because we didn't have a license, and we had like 500 people running through whilst they were playing croquet and cricket, and we had like these flares going off, and we were like, right, we need to start paying our way, getting licenses. Would you guys be happy to do that? What do we need to do to make sure we can justify charging £3? Because community running is basically free. So that was one of the main things. Was just listening to people, making sure that they would come to our events, and then if they didn't, we could always blackmail them, make them feel really bad, and then they'd come the next week. That was really useful. And then we just tried to keep it as affordable as possible. Our tickets are only £12 for like our generic weekly run. Our sign-up process is super, super simple. We only take your name, your email address, your emergency contact, and your emergency detail, and you can Apple Pay it. So we don't really care. We want to make that process as easy as possible to come and sign up and to come along. It should take around like 15 to 20 seconds to sign up to one of our events, which is really, really useful. So what did we learn? An awful lot. We're still working our way through it. We still do use Key Stage 2 geometry tools online for free to build our event plans, and we have to problem solve everything from the start. But as a teeny tiny events organizer, not worrying about outside noise. When we spoke to traditionalists, they told us we would never make money because we don't race, we don't offer anything. When we spoke to communities, they said, well, people aren't ever going to pay to come because you're just a community. And if we'd have listened to that and didn't have our focus and our vision and our goal, we would never have charged anyone. And we never would have been able to reinvest and grow and do what we did. So it was really blocking that out for us, really focusing on what we truly believed and what we were hearing from the community, and then putting that into our events and really having that shown and just trying to block the rest of the noise out and really, really going for it. That second part is the resilience and the problem solving. We also got not only chased by golf carts, but we got in it's a really weird sentence I'm about to say. We got in a big fight with a Pokemon, which was really, really strange. And we used to host an event. We didn't know we had to get licenses back then, through Southwark Council, and making sure that instead of just stopping once, they told us we have to, this is going to cost you X amount of money. You need to get X amount of provisions and safety bits and pieces on board. Was actually just working with them and going around it. We got in an argument with a lady called Shelley, who was at the time really annoying, but in actual fact was really informative. And it was the catalyst that said, why don't you just do it properly, you fucking idiot? And I was like, do you know what, Shelley, I fucking will. And now we host 25 events in their council with the borough, and working with them to overcome problems and solutions. That third part, have our vision. We know what we really are trying to do. We do want to create that grotty nightclub feel as healthily and as affordable as we possibly can, and pushing all the time on everything. I think we've probably pitched ideas to nearly half the people in here, trying to get people to do stuff for us. Maybe 1 or 2 of those things happens, and if it doesn't, just keep pushing, and for us just to keep moving forwards, blocking out that noise and keep moving forwards. So the fourth thing that we had was to take risks. I'm really, really lucky that, well, I say lucky, I don't have a wife or any family. I don't have a mortgage. I just rent a room in southeast London. So if this all goes completely wrong, the only person I'm responsible for is basically us and myself. So we've been really lucky to essentially gamble everything I've got. We have a very small team of full-time employees who are mates, who are very appreciative of the risks that we take. And we've been able to move very quickly. We can take grainy content, we can advertise with spelling mistakes because that's our flavour and that's how we want to do it. And we've been able to take those risks and be ambitious, because if it all goes wrong, we're all fine with it. The worst case scenario is that there's just 4 of us who just go back to work doing recruitment, which is honestly shit. So, you know what I mean? So it's not like, it's not too bad. We just go back. Fifth one was just trying hard, relentlessly trying hard. We look at what everybody else does in the industry and how they got there. And one of the people who we really look up to is Matt Wood with Run Through, and how they were a community into where they are now over the last 12 years. It's mind-blowing. And then we spoke to Matt, who gave us quite a lot of guidance early on. It was just about effort and what has to go into it, and really what you have to do for us to do that. And we're really lucky we have a small team of people that do that. And our sixth phase, 14 minutes, 23 seconds, smashed it. Sixth phase was just about making sales, like not being reliant on people coming into us, but being out there, trying to really hunt new customers, trying to get more brands on board, trying to actively headhunt like key people on LinkedIn. Can we get a sponsorship deal here? Can we get this person involved there? How are we going to attract more 18 to 34 people to increase our digital footprint and what we're doing online? Because that's our main selling point and how we attract people. And being really, really proactive was probably the main thing for us. Was like, how can we put more effort in and push on everything all the time to make sure that we make those sales, so that we can buy the next tent, so that we can buy the next laser, so that we can buy the next speaker, so we can get to the next medics, then we can get the next license, then we can get the next bar, we can get the next food truck, and just really focusing in on that goal and making sure that we do everything we can to get there.